the problem has been solved. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, the BAMA problem has been solved. We knew this day would come. And we've always wondered if the DAWGS could take care of that one problem, if Kirby and the Georgia Bulldogs, my Georgia Bulldogs, could take care of that one problem, there would be no stopping us. No stopping us. Now that the BAMA problem has been solved and the boogeyman has been put down to rest, just like old Yellow. Now, I look around at the rest of the playoff field. I look at our bracket. I look at who we drew, the winner of Ole Miss and Tulane. And I look at the other side of our bracket, and I see Ohio State, Texas A&M, Miami. I look on the other side of the bracket. A lot of analysts have Indiana as the favorite. Not too many people think it's going to go down like that, myself included. You see, sometimes you know when you know when you know when you know. And I must admit, my expectations were low coming into the season, and especially after the loss in Athens on September the 27th. But somewhere between halftime of the Auburn game and the fourth quarter of that Ole Miss game, that light switch clicked on. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this team is going for a natty this year. What I saw Saturday night in that SEC championship game, this is a national championship team. And we're going to talk about it here today. So everyone, get your popcorn ready. I'm Amondo Black, and this is the Dog Call.
To go top. Strong. Florida, bring on Bama, and bring on Texas too. We stay true, the Dogs stay true. We're the one with a few. Go Dogs, Dogs, I'm playing on Florida. Bring on Bama and bring on Texas.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Dog Call. I'm your host, Amondo Black. Happy Thursday, everyone. Happy Thursday, everyone. I apologize that I have not been able to do a video this week. I just took a couple of, days off, to spend time with the family. It's a holiday season. A lot of things that I wanted to, that I don't normally get a chance to do during the week, I was able to get done this week. But we're here, and we are here in the Dog Call, and we're here to discuss our back-to-back SEC champion winning Georgia Bulldogs. What a game. What a game. What a game. And what a performance. What a performance. Those Dogs did their thing. That defense played lights out. Remember now, the narrative coming into this game, there's no way that Georgia is going to be able to beat Alabama with a redshirt freshman center, a backup center. And see, let me just say one thing to all you Bama crybabies out there that are whining and complaining about not having Jam Miller, not having Quavis. Let me tell you something. Neither one of them were a factor in the first game. Jam Miller got nowhere near 100 yards rushing on our defense back in September, and Quavis was not a factor. The three players that hurt us, 2 on offense, 1 on defense. Ty Simpson and Isaiah Horton. Those 2 right there hurt us in that first game, and we shut their asses down. Now, LT Overton, you want to whine and cry about him not being on the field. Well, hey, you're Bama. You're loaded. You got a team full of damn 5 stars. You finish in recruiting right along with us. Maybe sometimes ahead of us, sometimes right behind us. So that's not an excuse. That right there, if one person or if a handful of players cause your team to lose that game Saturday, then you guys have a developmental problem issue. That means talent is not being developed properly. And that's a program issue. But that's neither here or there, because all you Bama fans were talking cash shit the entire week last week about what you're going to do to Georgia, how Bama is Georgia's daddy, Bama owns Kirby, Bama is the boogeyman, Georgia don't want to play. And I still stand on that. I still feel that the conference championship games are a waste of time. That was evident here because nobody moved. Bama stayed at 9, we stayed at 3. So I stand on that theory. But when Kirby said he wanted to smoke, he wasn't bullshit. He wanted to smoke. And the smoke he brought. He brought the smoke. You see, there were a few things that were different in that September meeting. Isaiah Horton. He didn't see Ellis Robinson in that first meeting. He saw Daniel Harris. Also in that first meeting, Nate Frazier was benched, which I still to this day I think was one of, there were many stupid decisions in that game by our coaches. That was one. I wouldn't have never benched Nate Frazier based off one damn fumble in the first half. The Bama defense couldn't do nothing with Nate Frazier last Saturday. You control Bowens. You kept Bowens at bay, but you couldn't stop Nate Frazier. Garner was a little bit more aggressive on first down as far as passing. Instead of lining up, running the ball on first down, we did more passing this time around. And you guys were so concerned about Branch, London Humphreys, and those tight ends, you forgot about Dylan Bell. Whoever was on Dylan Bell was getting their ass kicked all afternoon because Dylan Bell was running around wide open in Bama's secondary the entire game. I say that to say this. Kirby did y'all a favor. You do know that. Because if we came out there in that second half with that same intensity that we had for Texas, we would have hung 40 points on y'all. And the real score should have been 35-0. And I'm going to tell you why. We had made a pass play. Garner had threw a long pass completion to London Humphreys that put us in scoring position where we could have went up 28-0 late in the third quarter. But the refs bailed y'all out and called a ticky-tack hands to the face penalty on, I think it was Michael Morris. Both players had hands to the face, but it was ticky-tack. I wouldn't have threw the flag if I was the ref. You don't throw the flag in that situation. Not in no damn conference championship game. Also, DeMello Jones, and he'll clean that up. DeMello Jones, that kid is going to be special moving forward. He just did not have a good game. But thanks to DeMello Jones, that only touchdown y'all scored, and also with the assistance of the ref getting in the way of KJ Bolden and Dylan Everett, because they had Bernard dead to right on that play. But the ref got in the damn way. The ref participated in the illegal pick and allowed Bernard to score that one touchdown. Other than that, there was not 1 second in that game. Not 1 second in that game where I thought that lead was going to be in jeopardy. There was never 1 second in that game, in that fourth quarter, or in that entire second half, where I thought that our lead would be in jeopardy and that you guys will come back. Y'all don't have that firepower anymore. You got the name. You got the uniforms. You got the A on your helmet. But you don't have it. You don't have it there anymore. You don't have it there and you don't have it here. Bama's not built like that anymore. And that was evident in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Call it what you want to call it. Call it passing the torch. Call it what you want to call it. You know what I call it? The end of a chapter. The end of a chapter where Bama, when you see Georgia on your schedule, and you thinking it's going to be an automatic win, those days are over with. From this point forward, anytime you line up against my Georgia Bulldogs, expect the ass whipping. Expect the ass whipping. You see, What happened Saturday is what happened to Auburn back in 2017, and also what happened to Florida back in 2017. Let me explain. Florida had our number before 2017. If I'm not mistaken, they were on a 4-game winning streak against us. And at that time, everybody said we had a Florida problem. And we got them down in Jacksonville. And we spanked that ass. And ever since then, we've owned Florida. They've only won 1 game since 2017. Same thing for Auburn. Auburn was a thorn in our side in the early 2000s. 2017, they beat us in the first meeting. We got them in Atlanta. Same score, 28-7. We spanked them like we were their daddies. And ever since then, they can't buy a win against us. It's just how it is. The landscape of the SEC has changed. And whether the media want to accept it or not, the road to the SEC championship or to a SEC title runs through Athens, Georgia. We run this conference. It's evident. Back-to-back SEC champions. Last year, we took down Texas. This year, we took down BAMA. And we did it. Here's the kicker now. We did it playing 2 tough-ass schedules. Think about last year. Think about it. Think about how tough that schedule was. We had to go into Bryant-Denny. We had to go into Lexington. We had to go into the Grove. We had to go down to Austin, Texas. And every year we have to go to Jacksonville. I don't give a damn what nobody say. That's not a neutral site. Jacksonville, Florida is Florida Gator country. You ask most citizens that live down there in Jacksonville, Florida, I guarantee you the majority of them will tell you they're Florida Gator fans. That's a de facto home game. That was a tough-ass schedule. Then we had to deal with a feisty Georgia Tech team to close out the season and went to Atlanta. And I still say to this day, last year, 2024, that was Kirby's worst team since he's been here in Athens. The worst. The receivers were they couldn't catch. They were okay, but they were nowhere near elite. Dylan Bell didn't have a good year last year. Dylan Bell is having the best year he's had since he's been at Georgia this year. He's evolved into a great receiver. And he will be playing on Sundays. Dominique Lovett, I mean, he did great things for us. But he's nowhere near on the level of Zachariah Branch. Nowhere near. We was missing Kobe Young last year due to legal issues. Arian Smith, great kid. He did some great things for us. Who could ever forget that Ohio State game? Those 2 big catches he made. One for a long touchdown pass, and the other one he made that pretty much shifted the momentum in the second half. But let's be honest. Although his numbers were better than Noah Thomas's this year, but talent-wise, it's not even close, and you know it. The tight end play has always been great. That's never really been a problem. The tight end play was great last year. Lawson Lucky, Oscar Delp, they did their thing last year. This year, they took it to another level. Back-to-back SEC champions. And mind you now, with a young football team, a defense full of freshmen and sophomores, the O-line full of freshmen. Remember the Ole Miss game? Who could ever forget the Ole Miss game? Mostly freshmen were on that line. Minus Drew Bobo, you had the rest of them were freshmen. We were banged up. We walked into a situation that day, we didn't know what to expect. I know I was nervous. Playing against Ole Miss, that Ole Miss defense, with a bunch of freshmen on the O-line. This has been one of Kirby Smart's best coaching jobs. People can say what they want to say about Kirk Cinetti, and hats off kudos to Kirk Cinetti. Great season. Now, I'm not trying to poo-poo on what he's done. But in all reality, you take away Oregon and Ohio State, the rest of those games were cakewalks because the Big Ten was down this year. The Big Ten was down. The Big Ten had a down year, nothing like last year. The Big Ten this year is nothing like it was last year. Last year, the Big Ten was the strongest conference in the nation. Not so much this year. This year's Ohio State, Indiana, and you could throw Oregon in there. We don't know Oregon's suspect. They could have easily lost to Iowa. That game with Iowa could have went either way. But to go through a gauntlet like what we had to go through this year, with a bunch of injuries, after injury, after injury, after injury, players playing through injuries, and having to turn to freshmen and sophomore first-time starters, hell of a coaching job by Kirby Smart. Hell of a coaching job. I don't give a damn what nobody say. He deserves some consideration for Coach of the Year. See, there's levels to this thing when it comes to coaches, good coaches, great coaches, and you have your elite. And the elite coaches, after winning a big game, those are the ones that will say something like this.
It only begins here. And you know why you're able to do that, guys? Because you believe in each other and you believe in your coaches. You believe in your coaches. We got better, man, because you kept working. We said in the off week, we needed to get better. We needed to grow players. We had a bunch of guys step up. It's special. It's special. First time since 1980, the team has gone back-to-back at Jordan. Okay. Hey, you worked hard for it. And when you work hard for something, you have to appreciate it. You have to appreciate it. And when you block a punt, you win 85% of the game. And we damn sure. Where you at, Cole? Where you at, Cole? Yes! Hey. Not finished. We not finished yet.
Why is he mad?
Deal not done. We done yet? Deal ain't done yet. We're going to keep getting better. Keep getting better. Hey, crank that. 1, 2, 3, team. 1, 2, 3, team. Crank it.
This is what I'm talking about. We ain't done yet. Not done yet. That man wants a title. That man wants his third ring. He wants a third ring. You see, he don't want to be compared to no Dabo or, you know, he wants that third ring. This man is trying to build a damn legacy for himself. All of that being compared to Nick Saban and being compared to Dabo. The man trying to build a legacy for himself. It's been what? 3 years? 3 years since we won the national title out in Los Angeles when we dragged TCU. 3 years. It's time for us to come back for our crown. It's time for us to come back for our crown. If anyone asks me if there was a 12-team playoff in 2023, would we have three-peated? Hell yes. If we could have got in the playoffs in 2023, we would have ran through the entire field. We would have beat Washington's ass, Texas' ass, Florida State, Bama, in a rematch, Michigan. There's no doubt in my mind. Last year, I think we kind of overachieved. And honestly, the level of talent that was on that team last year, we were lucky to win the SEC title. We were not that good last year. But this year, we are a force to be reckoned with. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a national championship winning team. This team right here can win the national title. It ain't no doubt in my mind. If they can just stay healthy and not lose any key players. I'll say this. If everybody in the playoff bracket could stay healthy and no one lose anybody, no key players, and every team, all 12 teams are at full strength, I would take my Georgia Bulldogs over any other team in the field. Because we can beat you in so many ways. Get a lead on us at halftime. That ain't safe. Let us go into halftime with a lead on you. Game pretty much is over with. When we went up 14-0 on Bama, I pretty much knew that was it. And I told you, Bama fans, y'all went 30 minutes without scoring a damn thing. Y'all didn't score nothing in that second half. When something like that happens, it typically means that the coach, the opposing coach, has figured something out. In that second half, Kirby pulled Daniel Harris and he put Ellis Robinson on Isaiah Horton. Isaiah Horton, he was quiet as a mouse in that second half. We took away your main playmaker. Dalen Everett locked Bernard down in both games. Another thing he did, he put Danilo Jones in, a third DB on Ryan Williams. And Ryan Williams didn't do a damn thing in the second half in that first game. Kirby and Schumer figured it out in the second half. At halftime, I'm sorry, of that game in September. You have no idea how much of a confidence booster that was. You know what I always say, football is part physical, part mental. Getting over that hump was huge. It couldn't have worked out any better for Georgia. Bama coming back and winning that Iron Bowl was the best thing that could happen to my Georgia Bulldogs. Getting Bama in Atlanta was the best thing that could happen to my Georgia Bulldogs. Now this team and the coaching staff have the mindset, especially after watching that Indiana-Ohio State game, that this Georgia Bulldog team could be any team in the field. Any team. You see, last year, I told everybody throughout the season that Ohio State was head and shoulders above everybody else in college football. Even when they lost to Michigan, I still said, hell, Ohio State is going to come out of that first round and they're going to run the table. Because they were that much better than everybody else. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you tonight, there is no team in the field that's just head and shoulders above, better than everyone else. There's a lot of parity, especially with the top four teams: Texas Tech, Indiana, Ohio State, and Georgia. And what happened last year, with all the bye teams losing in the quarterfinals, that shit ain't happening this year. Because the format is totally different. There were a couple of teams that got byes last year that didn't have no business getting byes. Arizona State had no business getting a bye, and Boise State damn sure didn't have no business getting a bye either. This year is set up correct. The top four teams. And you could put them in any order. It don't matter. It really don't. I feel like Indiana deserves the number one seed, but there could be a debate of who should be number two. What order, 2, 3, and 4? We could have that debate. We could have that conversation. But honestly, I would have to admit Indiana is the true number one seed. But do I think they're head and shoulders better than everyone else? No, I don't. I watch highlights of that game. I didn't get a chance to watch it in real time because we were here doing a post-game show. But I watch highlights of that game. They have some weaknesses that I will discuss later on throughout in the upcoming The Road to Miami shows with my two co-hosts, D-Truth and Sniper. They have some holes. And so does Ohio State. That old line. Yeah. Yeah. This DAWGS team don't fear anyone. I don't think the fans fear any team on the bracket. Now, last year, different story. I was nervous as hell about Ohio State, nervous about Oregon. Nervous about a third matchup with Texas. Kind of nervous about Penn State, nervous about Notre Dame. This year, it's not a team in this damn bracket that puts any fear in my heart. Now, will I be my same old Amondo pacing the floor on game day? Yes, I will. But my confidence level is a lot higher this year than it was last year because I know what we got this year. This defense can shut down a run, and we got some DBs that can lock down damn good receivers. Those DBs, Dalen Everett and Ellis Robinson, have locked down some receivers that we will see playing on Sundays. Oh, yeah. Wingo, Alexander, Wallace, Shepard, Horton, Bernard, Williams. This team is the most battle-tested team. And you can throw Bama and Oklahoma in there too. They're battle-tested. But this team is very battle-tested. So I can't wait. I can't wait. My confidence level is here. Last year, it was here. This year is here. My confidence level is at the level that it was in 2021 and 2022. I think this team is ready to come back and take their crown. And Kirby is ready to win his third national title in his coaching career. He should already have 3. Take away the second and 26. He should already have 3. But I have a strong feeling he's going to get number 3. And Georgia is going to get number 5 as a whole this year. The good thing about it is we get to see all of it. So everyone, get your popcorn ready. Enjoy the ride because it's going to be one hell of a ride. And it's not going to be easy. It's not. I wouldn't want it no other way. Why would we? I'm going to be totally honest with you. In 2022, when Michigan upset TCU, I was a little pissed about that because I knew what would be the narrative. Oh, yeah, Georgia wouldn't have did that to Michigan. Georgia wouldn't have did that to Michigan. I think we would have. I'm not saying we would have hung 60 points on them, but I think we would have beat them, though. I love where they have us in these brackets. Because people has been, ever since the Ole Miss game, Ole Miss had Georgia. Ole Miss came that close to beating Georgia. Well, if Ole Miss takes care of business on the 20th against Tulane, then we'll see them on New Year's night in the Sugar Bowl down in New Orleans. And that would be a de facto home game for Ole Miss because that's right there in their backyard. Whoever the winner is, Tulane is from the city of New Orleans. So that would be like a home game for them. Because hell, they play some of their home games in the Superdome. Then if we get past that test, then we go to Arizona. We go to the desert. The duel in the desert. And it'll either be against those Texas A&M Aggies, those Miami Hurricanes, or the reigning defending national champion Ohio State Buckeyes. Me personally, I want the Buckeyes. You see, I'm different than a lot of you Georgia fans. Some of you Georgia fans just saying, "Oh, I hope Miami upset Ohio State." You hope Texas A&M up. You hoping that one of them upset Ohio State. Me, I'm different. I would love nothing more. Think about it now. We slayed the boogeyman in Atlanta. No, let me back up. We exposed that overhyped Texas team that everybody was gushing over, ready to hand the SEC over to back during the preseason. We ended their season by blowing them out and handing them their third loss. Then we go to Atlanta and we exercise a huge demon and we put down the big bad boogeyman Bama. I want Ohio State in Phoenix. You see, when we make this run, once we make this run, I don't want to leave any doubt. I don't want to leave any doubt whatsoever that we were the best team in 2025. And when we are done in the desert and we go down to South Beach to Miami, where we have been very successful this decade. And we go down there, I hope it's either Oregon or Indiana. Ladies and gentlemen, this team, in my opinion, my Georgia Bulldogs are coming for the crown. They are coming for the crown. Natty bound. That's what we just saw in Atlanta last Saturday. A team that is natty bound. I want to thank all of you for joining me here this evening. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. I'll be back tomorrow and we'll talk some more Georgia Bulldogs football. Disturbing news out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. I know this doesn't have anything to do with Georgia Bulldog business, but I've been hit up on DM. I've been, people been hitting me up in DM and through Messenger, want to know my opinions. I haven't done a video yet on the Sharon Moore situation. People are saying he's a fool for, throwing away that kind of money. He had 30 contract left worth $30.5 million. And I'm going to say this. It's not about the money, ladies and gentlemen. It's about what's right. The man was married. He was married. Married to a beautiful wife. He had a beautiful wife and children. You see, that's the part that's disturbing. That is the part that's disturbing. Because, see, not only did you embarrass the school, that you embarrass the program, you embarrass your team, you embarrass yourself, but you put your wife and your children in a situation and you left a scar on them for life. See, a lot of people think when things like this happen, you can just get a divorce and move on and forget. No, it leaves a scar on you. What he's the betrayal, that level of betrayal that someone does to you that you love, that someone you gave your vows to, that level of betrayal, it's just hard to fathom. And I just I really don't understand. You know, the little research that I've done on the situation. Now, I'm gonna do this real quick before I get up out of here. I've had some friends and associates that have gotten caught cheating, that were caught cheating on their girlfriends or wives, co-workers in the past. They have gotten caught up cheating on their wives or their girlfriends. And one thing I've always noticed, and I've never understood, 9 times out of 10, the woman that they cheated on was the prize. And the person that they're risking it all for, jumping in the haystack with, the side chick, is nowhere near in comparison to the wifey. Example. I'm going to do this real quick, ladies and gentlemen. This is the side chick. This is the wife. That's the wife. Beautiful daughter. Dream job and career. Making damn good money. And you got a beautiful family, beautiful wife and daughters. And sir, you chose to risk all of it, throw all of it away over a side piece tail. You see, the thing about it is when you stand at the altar or in the courthouse and you say vows to the other person, and you say those vows in front of God, that's something that you always supposed to take serious. So what I'm hearing all across the media that Sharon Moore blew this money, he blew that money, blew this money. It ain't about the money with me. It's about the betrayal of his family, how he betrayed his wife and kids. And now the family is going to be divided. The home is going to be divided. The relationship that he had with his wife will never be the same again. Even if she decides to stay with him, it will never, ever, ever be the same again. That trust is gone forever. Once you break that trust with your wife or your girlfriend, you'll never get it back. Same thing for you ladies that are watching. Once you break that trust with your husband or your boyfriend and you step outside the relationship and you decide to cheat on them, it'll never, ever be the same again. Never. And like I said, I know that's not Georgia Bulldogs business, but I just want to, just take the time and do a little teachable moment. But my thoughts and prayers are with the wife and the kids, because Sharon Moore, he's a grown man. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he's wrong. The people that are going to suffer is the wife and those children. And my heart goes out to them. Everyone, I want to thank you all for coming out. Peace and thank you all for coming out. Make sure you hit that like button. Hey, our Georgia Bulldogs are about to do something very, very special. Speaking of the incidents that's happening, the events that's going on up in Ann Arbor, I'm also hearing word on the Athens Street that Michigan is looking at Kalen DeBoer, and they're also looking at Glenn Schumer and Mike Bobo. So I don't know if that's hit the airwaves by now, by the time that this video drops, but I just wanted to give you all heads up about that. I think the leading candidate would be Kalen DeBoer. I think that would be a great fit for him and for the University of Michigan. You don't want the reputation of having a dirty program. And I say for the last 4 to 5 years, the Michigan's reputation is becoming tainted. And they need someone to come in. They need someone to come in that will run that program the right way and run a clean program. And I think Kalen DeBoer could be that guy. And I think those people down in Tuscaloosa, they don't appreciate Kalen DeBoer. They don't. Anytime he loses a game, like after Saturday, I was, peeped in on a couple of Tide podcasts, and they were already talking about firing the man. If they're talking about if Bama loses to Oklahoma, he should be fired. Those Bama fans don't appreciate. They don't appreciate anything. They were even throwing Nick Saban under the bus. Remember, there were times I will never forget that Bama fans were talking about taking up a petition to force Nick Saban to retire. Those Bama fans are entitled, spoiled, and delusional. And I think Kalen DeBoer deserves better. So if I was him, I wouldn't hesitate to take that offer from Michigan and get the hell up out of Tuscaloosa. Because they're not treating him right down there. They don't appreciate him. He's a good coach. He's not Kirby good. He's not Ryan Day good. But he's a good coach. Damn sure is. But on that note, everyone, thank you all for coming out. Peace and blessings. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night, everyone. And take care of yourselves and each other. And like I always say, no matter what, win, lose, or draw, it's going to always be go dogs. Sick 'em. Woo, 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 woo. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night, everyone. Thank you all for coming out. I'm Amondo Black, and this has been the Dog Call.
Where the barking never stops, the dog goes stand strong. So bring on Florida, bring on Bama, and bring on Texas too. We stay true. The Dogs stay true.